Hello, a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide, reaching you live on the network series of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ruth Guela. We'll begin on a positive note. Work has started in earnest on construction of the Transportation University in Daura, Katsina State, in furtherance of federal government's commitment towards domesticating railway engineering and general transportation sciences in the country. Now, this is following the formal groundbreaking ceremony for the institution, first of its kind in West Africa, by President Muhammadu Buhari. We'll get the details of that in the course of the bulletin. But let's go to health now. The implementation of the goal 3 Health for all Nigerians is a task that requires frequent check from stakeholders. Now, this members of the Fourth Estate of the REM is providing through its annual health conference. Let's hear from Ikechukwu Ndukwe.
In 2015, Nigeria witnessed over 800 maternal deaths, with the Northeast recording the highest. While in 2019, about 130 babies between ages 1 to 5 died in Nasarawa State alone, UNICEF reveals.
We are seeing these issues, they affect us, we live in the society, we report them, but some of us also experience them.
We call on the federal government to continue to provide an enabling environment for our medical health experts to enable them to put their best for the growth of the sector.
For the Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Hanire, Nigeria will witness a positive change in the health sector as President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the revitalization of over 9,000 primary health centers across the nation.
Nigeria is committed to meeting all these targets by implementing our policies to ensure coverage of all citizens, particularly men, women, and children, who are the ones supposed to eat, most vulnerable to diabetes.
The problem is accuracy of our data. And then without accurate data, it becomes more difficult for you to plan to achieve universalized coverage, as well as ensuring the wellness of everybody in society.
For fighting Ebola in Nigeria and promotion of public health, former Minister of Health Professor Onyebuchichukwu and Moji Makojola were awarded respectively, among other awards. In Abuja, Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
Away from health, following recent agitations and outcry against the non-approval of payments of October and November 2019 stipends to NPOWER beneficiaries, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajiya Sadiya Umar Farouk, while briefing the media in Abuja, reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to ensure that all beneficiaries of the NPOWER scheme receive their due payments before the end of December within the stipulated guidelines.
In this regard, the Ministry also wishes to assure all beneficiaries that all arrears will be paid as soon as the handing and taking processes are concluded and the grey areas are addressed. There should be no apprehension with regards to the continuity and sustainability of the social investment program, as the government will continue to adequately fund them and ensure that they reach the beneficiaries and touch lives positively.
The minister also assures all NPOWER beneficiaries and those benefiting from the social investment programs access to interventions designed for them. Let's go to Uyo now, where we hear that Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel has sued for peaceful coexistence between oil companies and their host communities for the interests and development of the state and the country at large. Governor Udom Emmanuel stated this when the Senate Committee on Upstream Petroleum Resources visited him in Government House, Uyo. Charity James completes the story.
Receiving members of the Senate Committee on Upstream Petroleum Resources, led by the chairman, Senator Basi Albert, the state governor, represented by the deputy governor, Moses Ekpo, commended the committee for their work towards development of the state and country. The deputy governor lamented poor oil dividend accorded the state despite her status as oil-producing state. He, however, expressed the need for oil companies to operate peacefully with their host communities.
We are the largest producer of oil
of the resources of this nation were the least to be considered in terms of benefits.
Chairman, Senate Committee on Upstream Petroleum Resources and leader of the team, Senator Basi Albert, said the committee was in the state to carry out its oversight function due to disparities between some oil companies with their host communities. He urged oil companies operating in the states to work in unity for the purpose of development and take corporate social responsibility as important.
It is now the responsibility of government to ensure that there is cohesion and there is a complete sense of oneness and unity of for the good of the community and the general good of the state.
Also present at the courtesy visit were representatives of all oil companies operating in Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Charity James, NTA News.
Let's look at electoral matters now. The People's Democratic Party is urging the Independent National Electoral Commission to initiate Electoral Act amendment that will legalize electoral voting and punish electoral infractions noticed during elections. Now, this came to the fore during a verification visit by the Elections and Parties Monitoring Group from the INEC headquarters to the National Secretariat of the PDP in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf will tell us more.
In the near 60 years of Nigeria's nationhood, beginning from the 1959 parliamentary election till date, 11 national elections have held, with each laced with mixed reactions. Political parties are the major drivers of all of these elections. Nigeria presently has 91 registered political parties, with INEC regulating their activities. This visit by a team of 7-man group from the Commission's Election and Parties Monitoring Department is to carry out verification of PDP's structural facilities, human resource, membership registration and financial record, among others, in line with the election management body's mandate.
We have 8 teams that are out for this verification exercise.
The People's Democratic Party, since its formation in 1998, has ruled the country for 16 consecutive years until 2015, when it lost the grip of the country's presidency. That election in 2015, the party's national chairman, Uche Sokoto, said was the nation's best without any litigation in court.
It was conducted under an atmosphere of free, fair, and transparent election. The survival and sustenance of our democracy rests squarely on the integrity of the Electoral Commission.
All the 91 registered political parties are expected to be visited by the INEC in the verification exercise. Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Let's now join Michael in Lagos to give us more reports from that end. Hello, Michael. Good to see you.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. The federal government's determination to rid the country of fake products is yielding positive results as the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, destroys more than 5,000 substandard liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) cylinders. Ken Ebiluge, who witnessed the destruction of the products at Amuwo in Lagos, reports that the market value of the cylinders was more than 50 million naira.
The cylinders commonly referred to as cooking gas were in sizes 50, 12.5, 3, and 6 kg with branded names.
This thing will get very fun and I didn't like that before.
The Director, Inspectorate and Compliance Directorate, Son Obiora Manafo, says some of the cylinders failed the agency's mandatory tests. Others were not manufactured according to the expected specifications. He explained that the destruction of the cylinders is to send warning signals to importers of substandard products that it is no longer business as usual.
Give anybody approval to bring in 12.5 kg for camping. He gave people approval to bring 3 kg, 5 kg, and 6.5 kg as camping. Any other thing above that must be used with hose. You extend you fit the hose to the cylinder and now extend it to your burner. That's what it should be. So in this case, the importer brought in cylinders of 12.5 kg as camping. Gas that does not have odor is substandard. It means that it can leak in your house and you will not know.
To reduce the fire incidents caused by substandard cylinders, Son urged Nigerians to always purchase old cylinders with its registration marks. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
As part of steps to augment ongoing economic reforms of the federal government, experts from the public and private sector are deliberating on how to boost the consumer goods sector in Lagos. Paulo Mukago reports that officials from the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investments, as well as investors in the nation's capital market, were in agreement on collective development of the sector.
The consumer goods sector is one critical segment of the economy and part of reforms aimed at diversifying the economy. Key players from the Nigerian Stock Exchange and the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment are suggesting collaboration as a way forward, considering challenges like currency depreciation, exorbitant excise duties, and multiple taxation.
Nations must be very proactive and focus to deliver the right policies and programs using critical institutions, both public and private, to boost output by providing the right environment and financing for businesses to strive and succeed.
So we're hoping that the discussions will lead to some actionable steps that will create a turnaround in the consumer goods sector, not just from activities that the government needs to do to create the enabling environment.
With Nigerian Business Environment ranking appreciating in the global rating following government's policy on ease of doing business, experts see the interactive forum as relevant.
The more you enable and make it mandatory for boards and management to adopt and imbibe principles of corporate social responsibility, transparency, accountability in the way in which they manage a company, it increases shareholder value and in the end the consumer benefit.
All the initiatives that government is putting into place to ensure that we increase the purchasing power of Nigerians so that we diversify the economy are all coming together, but we still need to do a lot more.
Panelists made useful contributions on the role of the capital market in unlocking value in the consumer goods sector. In Lagos, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
The first batch of Christian pilgrims to Israel have been airlifted with 350 of them from Lagos State. The governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who officially flagged off the ceremony, urged participants to be worthy ambassadors of the state in the Holy Land. Ruth Samuel reports.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said the pilgrims should see the pilgrimage as an opportunity to truly commune with God, seek His face, and pray for the well-being of the country.
It's an opportunity for you to rediscover yourself, to rediscover who you truly are, to rediscover your true essence of coming to this world, for you to be and enjoy with your Almighty.
We should be good citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and particularly of the state of Lagos.
We have improved on our screening modalities. We have put in place medical. We have also put in place security team.
President, Christian Association of Nigeria, Supo Ayokule, reminded the pilgrims of the need to conduct themselves in accordance with the laws of the Holy Land.
You are relying on that privilege in order to have a gift which is far from the reality of your heavenly home. But you want to have a gift of the heavenly Jerusalem.
Over 7,000 pilgrims from Lagos State are expected to participate in this exercise. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. The news continues in Abuja after this. Please stay tuned.
President, Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of Nigeria, ACAN, Ambassador Dakwo Fafora, cordially invites the public to the launching of the maiden edition of the ACAN Foreign Policy Journal. Chairman and Chief Launcher, His Excellency, Dr. John Kayode Fayemi, Governor, Ekiti State, and Chairman, Nigeria's Governors Forum. Special guest of honor, His Royal Highness, Muhammadu Sanusi II, CON, Sirkin Kanu. Co-launchers, Senator Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, President of the Senate, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives. 8 Tuesday, 3rd December 2019. Venue, the Rotunda, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tafawa Balewa House, Central Business Business District, Abuja. Time 11 a.m. For details, please call 0803-426-2377 or 0803-4877877. Ambassador John Kayode Shinkaye, First National Vice President, Akan, announcer.
The major impact of economic stimulus on the way with $29.96 billion borrowing. The infrastructure plan and matters arising on NTA Tuesday Live. Join us on this insightful and educative program with those who should know. NTA Tuesday Live at 8:30 p.m. every week. Don't miss it.
Nigeria is rich in culture, diversity, style, fashion, and delicacies. The authentic Nigerian food, fashion, and hair fair gives you the opportunity to showcase the best creativity in Nigerian food, fashion, styles in natural hair and braids. Don't miss this event. The 2-day event is taking place at the prestigious Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time is 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily from 16th to 17th of December 2019. Register now at www.authenticniger.com.ng to book your participation as an exhibitor. For bookings and inquiries, please call 0701 312 2480 or 0812 415 4257 or 0708 006 3188 or 0812 36 12685. You can also send us an email at info@authenticniger.com.ng. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Niger Authentic. See you soon.
My name's Mr. Muftau Abiodun Balogun. We started this business 4 years ago, and this is the production outlet where we do about 4,000 to 5,000 birds per day. With the closure of the border recently, we've been experiencing massive surge in demand. Our sales per day now is going to be between 15 to 20,000 birds. We needed to expand all avenues because of the multiplier effect it's creating. And the most interesting thing about this closure is that many of my farmers today are farmers we recruited recently, and they are young graduates. What the government is doing will lead us right. And I can tell you, if the government sustains this thing, sky will not even be a limit.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now, Christmas appears to have come early this year, with the Radio Nigeria NTA Von Choir treating Nigerians and the world to its annual series of 9 lessons and carols. Victor Azu reports that the theme for this year is Jesus in the Midst of the Storm.
The ambience already betrays the occasion. The procession with the choirs only a confirmation. It's the combined annual service of 9 lessons and carols of Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, graced by top government functionaries, traditional rulers, among them now Professor of Music, Lazi Kweme, and clergymen. The stories of the fall of humanity, the promise of the Messiah, and the birth of Jesus Christ told in 9 short Bible readings may have influenced messages of the dignitaries.
The nation, we have every reason to thank mercies. Things are changing, things are improving. We are not there yet, but we have taken a step. Jesus. Amen.
As the Christmas light comes on and carols sound out from the various choirs and soloists, some may need a reality check that it's only the first day in December. Indeed, Christmas has arrived early this year. And with the theme, Jesus in the midst of the storm, the Christmas message calls on Nigerians to return to God for solutions to all the nation's challenges.
Down on the country, there is hope for the full restoration. Where other countries will be looking for Nigerian passports.
This service of 9 lessons and carols was started over 15 years ago in Enugu by the Radio Nigeria Choir. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Very colorful indeed. And still on religious affairs, the annual One Ummah conference, which brings together various Muslim societies from around the country, is underway in Abuja with the theme, Peace and Unity. Let's hear from correspondent Nato Tijani.
One person can make a difference, but together the impact will be greater. This is the message of young people from various Muslim societies who want to promote peace and unity. The One Ummah Peace and Unity Convention, which is an annual event, provides such a platform while imparting critical social skills and volunteering opportunities.
And I want to learn more about the religion. That's why I leave my house.
Featuring lectures from notable Islamic scholars, the conference is also an avenue to teach unity, love and excellence, tenets of the faith.
Therefore, anything that happens to you, there is a reason for it and there's a wisdom behind it.
If I could have worried, I would be very worried. Worried about what? I've never seen anything besides what's in the womb.
Very essential. That is why we have remained with the theme for the last 3 years. We want to see peace, harmony and development in our country.
This year's convention also features a display from victims of conflict in northeastern Nigeria who have benefited from scholarships and other charitable services. Like her counterparts in the northeast, her message is clear. Peace and unity can be achieved together. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
And still promoting peace, the chief people of Taraba State have pledged total commitment to end the lingering crisis between them and Jukun community, calling the state government to expedite action for the return of displaced persons affected by the clashes. This is contained in a communique issued after the third Ijir Yemen and celebration of the 19th Thief Day in the state. Joseph Otson reported that the meeting took place in Bali local government area.
The Ijitamen is an assembly of Thief traditional rulers and stakeholders where they dialogue and discuss issues affecting the Thief people. These Thief leaders in Taraba State met in Bali local government area for the third Ijitamen during the celebration of the 19th Thief Day in the state. With the Thief community presently confronted communal crisis with the Jukun tribe in Ukari and Gaso local government areas, as well as large number of internally displaced persons. These challenges dominated discourse at the Ijitamen. A communique was issued at the end of the meeting which condemned the lingering Thief and Jukun crisis, calling for understanding, forgiveness and tolerance from the people.
The Ijitamen shone for the crisis between the Thief and Jukun in the southern Taraba and called on the Taraba state government to fast-track the return of displaced people back to their ancestral land in the area and rehabilitate them accordingly.
The communique emphasized that the Thief people of Taraba State are indigenous and should be accorded due rights and privileges. Participants described the interface as impactful.
The people involved in the peace process should come to the negotiation table with free mind without sentiment and look at the issues and merits.
When people are living together, they are cordial, they are living cordially, they love one another. I don't think there will be any reason for any kind of hostility that will bring about violence.
There was a paper presentation on the need for unity, peaceful coexistence with neighbors, and upholding the Thief culture and tradition. From Bali, Joseph Saundu Utsen, NTA News.
In other news, the presidency has reacted to the statement credited to a former chief of defense staff, General Alexander Ogomudia, retired, who says that Nigeria may be reconstructed violently. A statement issued by the senior special assistant to the president of media and publicity, Garba Shehu, says this statement coming from a former military chief speaks volumes about the mindset of groups of citizens who are yet to accept democracy as a form of government. The statement further says that it is very important to stress that the nation is constitutionally democratic and changes to the country in structure, its systems, policy and politics must abide by the norms of democracy. Otherwise, they would be extrajudicial and therefore unconstitutional. This administration under President Muhammadu Buhari, the statement emphasized, is strongly of the view that democracy that is self-correcting under the laws as we have is the answer to growing calls for violence and means to change in the structure, form and content of the union that binds us as one nation. The statement also denies the general's assertion that nothing had been done on the unfortunate gruesome murder of Air Chief Marshal Alex Badi, the former Chief of Defence Staff, as an investigation instituted by General Shaking. The current Chief of Defence Staff has led to the arrest of 14 suspects. All right, let's go to Sokoto to join Musa Abubakar to give us more reports nationwide. Hello, Musa.
Thank you and welcome to Sokoto. The decision to establish Advanced Diagnostic Medical Center in Sokoto State is to enhance tertiary healthcare delivery in the Northwest Zone and check medical tourism. Governor Aminu Tambuwal stated this when he inspected the project. Dalhat Abdullahi reports.
Beside the phenomena of medical tourism for those with the means, most of the critical diagnosis, medical tests and examinations are being referred to Kano and Abuja by tertiary health facilities in the state. This had necessitated the Sokoto state government to, during one of its executive council meeting, approve the construction of an advanced medical diagnostic center in the state. When completed, the center is expected to provide diagnostic services to the entire Northwest Zone and, by extension, the neighboring Niger Republic.
So by the time the center comes on stream, I'm sure it will serve all of these areas and it will reduce what we have in terms of medical tourism, because these are what normally take people out of the country to check their status and know the status of their health.
The governor also inspected the ongoing total renovation of Sanidingadi Unity Secondary School, Sokoto. The renovation work is being carried out by the Ministry for Basic and Secondary Education through direct labor at the cost of 190 million naira, as against the estimated contract cost of over 600 million naira. The renovation work is expected to go around all the secondary schools across the state. In Sokoto, Dalhat Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, 200,000 small business operators are to benefit with financial support under the Micro Business Incentive Fund of Sokoto State Government. Dalhat Abdullahi again reports that Governor Aminu Tambuwal flagged off the disbursement exercise at Gudu and Tureta local governments.
The major challenge of small business operators is lack of capital to sustain operations. Any amount forthcoming to these categories of entrepreneurs adds value to their operations and make them self-reliant. Committed at diverse ways of boosting small-scale businesses in the state, Sokoto State Government has earmarked 4 billion naira for disbursement to low-income earners to enhance their business across the state in 3 years. The breakdown shows that 200,000 men and women on equal ratio will receive 20,000 naira each as assistance under the State's Micro Business Incentive Fund. 3 local governments of Godu, Tureta, and Sabon Birni have been selected, one each from the 3 senatorial zones, to pilot the program. Governor Aminu Tambuwal said the financial support is also to enable them and enroll their children in schools. Governor Tambuwal also launched the construction of 1.5 million litre semi-urban water scheme at Tureta to the tune of 400 million naira, and the construction of junior secondary school at Islamic district of the local government to be constructed at the cost of 86 million naira. Sokoto, Dalhat Abdullahi, NTA News.
Of the Sokoto State Governor Maria Aminu Tambuwal has taken the campaign on violence against women at the internally displaced persons camp at Gindi village area of Rabba local government with a call on every Nigerian to support the move to eliminate the scourge in the country. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila reports that her visit to the IDP camp was part of activities making marking the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women.
Wife of the Sokoto State Governor, Maria Aminu Waziri Tambol, is joining other world leaders to campaign against violence meted out to women. She chose to be at the IDP's camp at Gandhi Village in Rapa local government, where victims of banditry have been taking refuge for the past 1 year. The aim is to sensitize families on the dangers of violence and abuse of women and girls. She called on the society to abhor violence against women.
The message that we are trying to pass across to the society in Sokoto State General is that they should know how to protect their children from rape.
The governor's wife donated 20 bags of rice, 24 jerry cans of cooking oil, 600 wrappers, 300 brocades, detergents, medicaments, papers, confectionaries, and other foodstuff.
I will make sure that every materials go to the hand of the needy people.
Some of the IDPs spoke to NTA News prayed Allah to reward the governor's wife abundantly. The governor's wife and her entourage had earlier paid homage to the district head of Gandhi, Alhaji Muhammad Machiriyani Gandhi, where she advocated for massive support against violence meted out to women. In Sokoto, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Roots in Abuja.
Thanks, Musa. Right, let's talk business now. World Bank 2019 Economic Update for Nigeria estimates sustainable growth at 2.2%, which indicates continued recovery from the 2016 recession. Now, the update, however, observes a much higher population growth, estimated at 2.6%. Onenge Fineface will give us all the details.
Nigeria's growth rate of 2% in 2019, as captured in the World Bank Economic Update, is a marginal rise from that of 2018, pegged at 1.9%. While the oil sector recorded stable growth rates, agriculture picked up slightly but remains affected by emergency in the Northeast region. Manufacturing growth also slowed due to weaker power sector supply. Annual headline inflation rates fell from 15.7% in 2016 to a projected 11.6% in 2019. Oil production is projected to remain leveled at around 2 million barrels per day, below the 2.3 million barrels per day target in the medium-term fiscal strategy. With population growth of 2.6% outpacing economic growth due to weak job creation, per capita incomes are falling while unemployment rate has risen from 18.8% in 2017 to 23.1% as at the third quarter of 2018.
The economy is recovering, but probably not as faster rate as it needs to, given the demographic realities of Nigeria. So essentially, Nigeria's population growth right now is higher than the rate at which the economy is growing, which means the national pie per person is shrinking.
Analysis of the economic update highlights policy transparency and predictability, infrastructure investment, and improved access to finance as needed steps to increase productivity and expand the nation's economy. In Abuja, Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Still staying with the financial sector, the need for the Central Bank of Nigeria to enable customers migrate bank accounts from one bank to another whenever they are dissatisfied with services has been emphasized on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Financial experts say the bank verification number, it is not only doable but will go a long way in reducing to the barest minimum excessive bank charges on customers now, and also encourage competitiveness and sanity in the banking sector. Lydia Sampson will tell us more.
Guests decried the trend of excessive bank charges, which they noted are mounting on the customers. They lamented the situation where bank charges alone make up more than 50% of revenue generated by banks.
Whilst we have to move the agenda on achieving more coverage, getting more people into the banking sector, the central bank will have to take a graduated step to make sure that we will get there and encourage the banks to expand services.
These 100 charges are too many, like we have just said, ranging from ATM charge, from transfer fees and all of that. But the fact is that even this ATM we're trying to call that, the banks make a lot of money savings from ATM because it reduces personnel cost.
While also agreeing that the charges are a cause of concern, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it is not just taking it in its stride, but working towards a revision.
Now, for the 15 naira being charged, I think it's good that we use it up to clear it, that 15 naira is actually a federal government tax. Not CBN, not bank charge, not any person, but the federal government impose a tax on digital transactions.
Okay.
So, which is a stamp duty.
That the central bank, being aware of this, it's not just sitting back. Allow charges to be arbitrary or to be unfounded.
The guests reiterate the need for more customer education to better understand the charges and equip customers with negotiation skills to maximize profits available. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And beneath our next stop on Nationwide brings more reports trending from the end. Hello, Okochukwu.
Good afternoon and welcome. Completed intervention projects financed by Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED-fund, in tertiary institutions in Edo and Delta States have been inaugurated. The Secretary of the agency, Professor Suleiman Bogoro, who inaugurated the projects, stressed the importance of strengthening research and development in tertiary institutions in the country. Ivie Oyakire has details.
3 TED-fund intervention projects were inaugurated by the Executive Secretary and other members of the team at the Faculty of Engineering, University of Benin. He also performed groundbreaking and symbolic foundation laying at the Department of Food Science and Human Nutrition, Faculty of Agriculture.
We are happy any day to facilitate and eventually commission infrastructure that make a difference in our tertiary institution.
The team also was at the Edo State Polytechnic, Usain, where 5 TED-fund special high-impact intervention projects were inaugurated.
We have come, we have seen, and we are reasonably satisfied with what we met on the ground.
The Executive Secretary at LI inaugurated various TED-fund-sponsored projects at the Delta State University and Ahmed Ali University, Ekpoma. In Benin, Ivie Oyakire, NTA News.
And now Denmark government has expressed its readiness to cooperate with the Second Foundation and other organizations to tackle the menace of human trafficking and irregular migration. The Denmark ambassador, who visited the Benin monarch, Obehi Otoba Presai, reports.
The ambassador described the Benin monarch's contributions to the campaign against human trafficking and irregular migration as distinctive and globally recognizable. The Oba welcomes efforts of other local and international organizations and solicits the intervention of the more developed nations in creating job opportunities through the establishment of industries, as lack of jobs is partly responsible for the act. The Oba, through his foundation, has rehabilitated victims of irregular migration and human trafficking and placed them on monthly stipends. Meanwhile, the Benin monarch wants political class in the state to allow their actions to be guided by the interest of the people. He was addressing traditional rulers in his palace, where he also urged them to avoid taking sides in political issues.
We should hear those states more good news. We're going to bring all news to blow over, and we'll see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The Ology of Poji, His Royal Highness Geoffrey Ediame, who spoke on behalf of Council, commended the forthright leadership of the Oba. In Benin, Obehi Otoba Presai, NTA News.
And now to help matters, key players are raising awareness on the rights of people with hearing impairment and use of sign language. It was at the 6th edition of Edo Deaf Awareness Day held in Benin. Again, Obehi Otoba Presai has details.
Day is set aside to enlighten the deaf on their rights and misconception of deafness. The lecture by Timitokbe, who is also deaf, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for signing the Disability Bill into law, which gives them the right to secure jobs, education and access to information. Chairman of Nigeria Association of Special Education and others say law gives persons with hearing impairment a sense of belonging.
We have different types of sign language. We have the one we call finger spelling. We have the one we call total communication. Very important instrument.
Some of the participants stated their challenges and expressed gratitude for the use of sign language.
Many deaf persons are jobless.
The governor of the state is able to bring out how the children could be brought up and how they be cared for.
Drama presentation featured at the 6th Edo Deaf Awareness Day in Benin, Obehi, Toba, Versailles. NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide. The news continues after this.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
It is indeed befitting to honor the memory of the gallant hearts of the men who paid with sacrifice.
President Muhammadu Buhari joins all ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send the donations to these accounts. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
And beyond. As Goge Africa turns 20, we thank you and invite you to join us in the quest for 20 must-visit destinations in partnerships with the largest TV network in Africa, the NTA, Ministry of Information and Culture, Ministry of Transportation, Studio 24, Delta Airlines, Toll Brokers International. You too can still be a partner. Call the numbers on your screen or info@gogeafrica.tv. Goge Africa, celebrating 2 decades of heritage, travel and tourism.
I'm Deputy Comptroller of Customs Joseph Atta, spokesman for the Joint Security Exercise. Over a period of time, either through indifference or deliberate non-compliance to the ECOWAS protocol on transit of goods by our neighbors, the Nigerian Customs Service have been raising this issue. MOUs were signed severally. They were broken as soon as they were signed. We've seized over 32,050 kg bags of rice. And that is a huge impact. And then the fact that the coming in of this foreign rice have been completely shut down. We've gone around, we've received testimonies of farmers who, before now, found it difficult to sell 1 truck on a market day. These people say it now that those who could not sell 1 can now sell up to 20 trucks.
Thanks for staying with NTA. Stakeholders and experts in the transportation industry say federal government is truly committed towards revitalizing the transportation sector in Nigeria with the flagging off of the Transportation University in Daura, Katsina State. Uina Akaluoka reports.
It is a historic event here at the ancient city of Daura, the hometown of President Muhammadu Buhari, for the groundbreaking ceremony of the University of Transportation. It is the first specialized institution of its kind in Nigeria, a corporate social responsibility of Chinese government expected to create employment, encourage local capacity development, and pave way for the localization of manufacturing of railway materials and domestication of rail science and engineering in Nigeria.
Transportation in Nigeria is a key sector, very, very important sector. But unfortunately, we don't have any particular university dedicated to transportation. By the time the university is up and running, people will know how to design roads in modern way.
It's a major milestone in our quest to achieve local content capacity,
to build our own domestic expertise.
The construction of the university is expected to cost about 18 billion naira and to be funded by the Chinese government alone.
Their own contribution to the development of transportation in Nigeria, so that we can have the human capacity to manage what we are presently building.
The university is expected to be completed in 2 years, and there is plan to establish similar one in River State. Binaya Kalo, NTA News.
Thanks, Rinaya. Now let's look at Amnesty. A beneficiary of the federal government's presidential amnesty program has emerged best graduating student from Benedict University in Okada, Edo State. 4 others bagged fourth-class honors of the 145 who studied on scholarship at the school. Ede Ago reports.
26 years old Queen Ohiole, an Edo indigene, is one of the 145 amnesty beneficiaries. She is the overall best graduating student of the university with a CGPA of 4.86.
I have no hope of a university education.
To her and the others, the program is a golden opportunity and a relief to youths in the region.
It is obvious that this program is working. I use this rare opportunity to express my gratitude to the government.
The program is really worthwhile in that it aims at human capacity building.
The Presidential Amnesty Program was introduced in
Right, to apologize for that technical hitch there. Let's take you to Kaduna State, where Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukwu is standing by to bring us more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Suleiman.
Very much, Ruth, and welcome to Kaduna Network Center. Ginger and tomato business in Kaduna State will soon turn on for the better. The European Union investors have indicated interest in channeling resources into the production, processing, and packaging of the produce for export. This was disclosed by the European Union ambassador to Nigeria, Ketel Kerrison, during his visit to Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai at the government house, Kaduna. Muhammad Umar Ajingi has the details.
Statistics by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations show that Nigeria is the second largest producer of ginger, with Kaduna State having the best worldwide. Over the years, however, preservation and processing of the product, in spite of its economic value for both local and export, posed a great challenge.
Although Nigeria ginger is rated the best in the world market, but the promo price.
European Union ambassadors visiting Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai brought glad tidings. After some hours behind closed doors with the governor, the ambassador says EU experts are working closely with farmers for optimum yields and value addition of ginger.
We're here also to do business. So we're promoting 2 value chains, the production of tomato and pepper on one hand and ginger on the other. We know that the ginger coming from Kaduna State is arguably amongst the very best in the entire world. So we think that there are good market opportunities.
Besides investment in the agricultural sector, the European Union is collaborating with the Kaduna State government to improve access to education and healthcare delivery. In Kaduna, Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
Assisting the needy and less privileged in the society has been identified as the solution to many social vices and veritable means of strengthening unity among the Ummah. The assertion was made by a renowned Islamic scholar, Sheikh Muhammad bin Uthman, at the maiden lecture at the Federal University Dutse Muslim Forum. Mansur Ali reports.
The theme of the lecture, Spending in the Cause of Allah, which was organized by the Federal University Dutse Muslim Forum, with a view to remind the Muslims about the importance of charity as one of the virtues in Islam. Sheikh Muhammad bin Uthman enjoined Muslims to emulate how Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who teaches and assisted the less privileged, even the non-Muslims. The gesture of the Prophet, as well as his admonishments to his companions, encourages them to channel their resources to the cause of Allah. Sheikh Uthman cautioned Muslims, particularly the wealthy ones, to ensure that the menace of street begging is minimized by providing alternatives to destitution.
Give
one that is spending. And give withdrawal and receiving profit for the one that is old-handed. Imagine. On a daily basis, judge for yourself.
The lecture session is the maiden edition of its kind, organized by Federal University DEC Muslim Forum. DEC, Mansour Aliyu Hassan, NTA News.
National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, Kaduna branch, has taken stock of the outgoing year with a renewed determination towards a more prosperous 2020. Jama Adamu reports.
A dinner, a lecture, a health talk, and symbolic recognition of marketers and associates who have distinguished themselves in their diligence and deliveries of professionally based practices that have brought lots of value addition to professional marketing in Nigeria. Top on this list is the Executive Director of Marketing Nigerian Television Authority, Salih Abdulhamid Dembos, a fellow of the Institute, a member of the Advertising Practitioner Council of Nigeria, and a fellow of the Institute of Credit Administration, represented at the event by the Assistant Director of Marketing, NTA Network Center. Abdulhamid Dembos, the convener, say is worthy of their honor as he exemplifies excellence in professionalism and inspires upcoming generation towards exploring and attaining their professional potentials. The Kaduna branch of the Institute, according to the National President Tony Ageno, is one of the most vibrant branches, reflecting on the gains and challenges of the outgoing year.
Actually ensuring that the people are conscious of the fact that marketing is a way of life. If you don't market your commodities, then nobody will come and purchase it. Any organization that is playing with marketing is like it is playing not even only with its future, but even with its present.
Kaduna State Branch Chairman of the Institute, Akogwe Hajon, expressed optimism in the Institute's capacity to further enhance the economic fortunes of Nigeria through sustained professional engagements. In Kaduna, Jama Adamu, NTA News.
And with that report is back to you, Ruth, for more stories on Nationwide.
Thank you, Suleiman. Welcome back to Abuja. Now, even though primary education is officially free and compulsory in Nigeria, there are impediments that makes not less than 10.5 million children to be out of school. Now, a concerned Nigerian mother, Mrs. Bukola Olatunde, is worried about the future of these children. She has therefore instituted free education for such children in Kwara State through her foundation. Let's hear from Kendi Omolosho.
Julius Grace Children's Home was established 10 years ago with a child to cater for. Today it has over 100 children who are at various stages of their academic pursuit. Adebi Emmanuel and Adekemi Adebi, who have been beneficiaries of the foundation, are grateful to the founder for giving their academic career hope.
I'm very, very grateful for, out of a lot of children out there.
She has left us the legacy that we should help other children.
Dickness Bukola Olatunde has gone a step further to provide a recreation center at Malete. The building, which has both outdoor and indoor games facilities, is in commemoration of her 46th birthday.
I believe that one of my purposes in life is to support children who are less privileged to grow with love and get quality formal education.
We are all here to establish a vision.
What they are impacting in people's life is huge and great. And as you can see, the children are really happy.
She's not moved by what these less privileged people will come to do for her, but she said she's moved by helping these less privileged.
There's Grace Foundation for children, to support them, to give them that environment that they need to grow.
The foundation is also commissioned to train indigent students in vocational skills of their choice. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
And sports is up next with Gift Judge.